Morena koutou, atamaria kia koutou. Welcome to morning prayer, start of a new month, and we're going to be hearing this morning from the Reverend Mark Barnard. I'd invite you to join with me in prayer as we begin our time of worship. E te atua kaharawa, e tuwhera ana ngā ngākau katoa ki a koe, e moihotia ana ngā hiahia katoa, e kore hoki e ngaroe a koe te mea huna. Horoe o mātou whakaro e tō wairua tapu. Kia pono ai, tō mātou aroha ki a koe. Kia tika ai ta whakanui i tō ingoa tapu. Ko ihu karaiti hoki tō mātou ariki. Āmine. Ka wai ta tātou tō tātou himeni tematanga. Ko tahi rau rimata kau o ngā himeni. Kia ora anō. We're going to have a reading now, switching across to one of the ones from For All the Saints for today. This one is from James chapter 2 and beginning at verse 14. What good is it, dear brothers and sisters, if you say you have faith but don't show it by your actions? Can that kind of faith save anyone? Suppose you see a brother or sister who has no food or clothing, and you say goodbye and have a good day, stay warm and eat well, but then you don't give that person any food or clothing. What good does that do? So you see, faith by itself isn't enough. Unless it produces good deeds, it is dead and useless. Now, someone may argue, some people have faith, others have good deeds, but I say, how can you show me your faith if you don't have good deeds? I will show you my faith by my good deeds. Hear what the Spirit is saying to the church. Thanks be to God. I'll hand over to the Reverend Mark Barnard for our koho.
Kia ora koutou, ko Rev Mark tēnei. Well, here we are, 1st of October. I have no idea how it got to being October, but today we remember in our church year Suzanne Aubert, Suzanne Aubert was a Catholic sister who came to live in Aotearoa, New Zealand in the 1860s. She was from France, and she came to work with the mission set up by Bishop Pompelia. Her story is quite inspiring. If you don't know about Suzanne Aubert, it's well worth a read. She spent most of her ministry really simply and compassionately working amongst tangata whenua in this land, with a special emphasis on the sick and the poor. Her heart burned with compassion for those at the edge. She founded homes of compassion for those struggling with physical and social affliction, and she was a deeply compassionate woman who loved tangata whenua and gave her life to work among them. She spent time in the Wanganui at Heruharama, Jerusalem, and ended her ministry in Wellington. She's a deeply inspiring person who gave much of her energy and her time to care for people, care for tangata whenua, care for the poor and the marginalised. The reading this morning that helps us remember her is from James. It's basically a reading that invites us to say, if our faith doesn't demonstrate itself in action and compassion, then it's not really a faith worth having. Now that's a big challenge, and James is one of those writers in the scriptures who gets straight to the point and is deeply challenging. And so in our reading this morning, when it says, great, you've got faith, show me your faith by how you treat others. Show me your faith by your actions. Show me your faith by your care for the poor. Both Suzanne Aubert and James challenge us again today on this 1st of October that our life is most worth living. Our life and our faith is most real when it's put into service of others, especially when it's put into the service of those who struggle, those who are poor, those who are marginalised, those who go without food, those who go without comfort, those who are afflicted in so many ways. I wonder about us and our following of Jesus as we consider life after lockdown. I wonder who we'll care for. I wonder what compassion will grip our hearts. Well, that's the challenge for me today from Sister Suzanne Aubert and from Brother James. What's the challenge for you? Amen.
Kia ora, Mark. Thank you for sharing that. I just want to let you know, by the way, that I'm actually going to be, well, nobody can ever be certain in these days, but the expectation is that I'm going to be heading across to Oxford to carry on my study there for a little bit, for a few weeks. And so next week, and in fact from Sunday onwards, the Reverend Kirian Hokianga will be hosting our Karakia for as long as lockdown lasts. Of course, we're all hoping that in many ways it'll start to wind down soon, but we just don't know. And so I'll be leaving you in her very capable hands and the whole of the Manukau team. Please do continue to tune in for as long as our current situation lasts, and we'll keep working to provide these for you. Love it if you'd pray for me and for my family as well. My whānau will be staying back here, of course, and if you could pray for them and also pray for me as I travel. I'll be taking a few days leave from Sunday onwards for the next few days, and then heading across to Oxford. I hope that you're able to continue to join in what we're doing here. Let's conclude then with the words of the benediction. Kia tau kia tātou katoa te atawhai o tō tātou ariki o Iukaraiti, me te aroha o te atua, me te whiwhi ngā tahitanga ki te wairua tapu, ake, 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 āmene.